Yo, what's up, guys? This AI SMS agent for sales, this infinite follow-up agent, books sales appointments for you. It also taps into personalization data that we extracted from our previous automation, which is the free Notion AI-enabled CRM with the SimFlow AI caller agent and information extractor system for personalization, where basically the AI agent makes a call, grabs the transcription, and AI summarizes how the call went, classifies the call, and extracts information from the call and stores it in our Notion CRM. You can go watch that video here. It's in my channel. And this new video, this new build, is going to be an infinite follow-up SMS system that is able to grab that personalization data that we extracted from our calls. And if we weren't able to book the appointment with the AI caller, we'll be able to book the appointment with SMS, with Cal.com functionality. We're also able to store the conversations in memory and infinitely listen for incoming SMSs and infinitely reply to SMS with this AI agent for SMS, this infinite follow-up agent. And this build in this video is part of the one-man AI business plan, and you can get the blueprints in the Discord, where you can sell these infrastructures from anywhere from, $25K to $50K a piece. And this is part of our sales infrastructure. So we're helping entrepreneurs get leads, sales, and installs so they can scale their business to 100K per month. It's fairly straightforward to sell AI to make 100K per month. You need about 4 sales at the high ticket 25K per build price, and you can sell this pre-built infrastructure that we're building in real time, building in public. It's going to be built in a few weeks, and you can license this. You can become a partner, and you can sell this into your own business and come get our coaching, jump into the school group, jump into the Discord, and build with us. So what I always recommend for entrepreneurs that are getting into any kind of entrepreneurial venture is work on your content infrastructure. Your content infrastructure is the first step of lead generation for entrepreneurs, especially if you're trying to sell AI or AI infrastructures, AI systems, AI automations. I always recommend getting a content infrastructure going. That means you're either doing some sort of posting on some sort of platform and you have templates, frameworks, things that work that are helping you generate traffic and build your expertise and position you well. And so I have videos on that. You can go check out the AI agent for personal branding that helps you build your brand and does content for you. You can also go check out this AI ideation automation that I built on Make and N8N. So I have an N8N instance that you can go grab. You can grab the actual AI JSON blueprints and configuration files from the HVT group. If you scroll down to premium coaching and jump into blueprints, you'll see all the blueprints for all the automations and the infrastructures pre-built. So for example, if you want this one on ideation and grabbing summaries, you can watch the video. You can get the content calendar, and you can grab the actual JSON template and blueprint to install. I built this on Make and N8N. For the AI sales agent, I'm about to put that one in. I'm literally about to put the JSON in for that one. You can grab that as well. So check it out. I'm literally uploading it right now into the archives. So you're going to have access to that right now on the call. If you jump in, of course, that's behind a paywall, and text me for the price, but right now the price is $69 per month. My favorite infrastructure and the one we've been building is the sales infrastructure. So this is my favorite one, and then the entire video is uploaded. This is a 30-minute video with the entire build. You can get the actual blueprints right here, and you can come into the free calls. If you go into free voice channels, we have calls Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. You can get bi-weekly paid calls as well for implementation, so I definitely recommend that. For today's build, we're building the AI sales agent, the infinite SMS follow-up, so you can jump in here and you can download the file here, and this is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. So obviously this automation is predicated on our overall system, which is working off of a Notion CRM. It's an AI-enabled CRM that combines N8N and Notion, and you can use it as a free CRM and have different buckets. And so we're using a switch node to put all of our different sales buckets, follow-up, booked an appointment, no-show, reschedule, texting, active, won, lost, etc. And for every time a lead manually moves a bucket or is automatically moved by a bucket through an automation, a new AI agent takes over and a new workflow takes over. And in the previous automation, which was how to build an AI agent that sells or closes deals for you, we're actually calling SynthFlow, which is an AI agent. It makes a call, it grabs the transcription, it summarizes the call all automatically, and classifies, was it a qualified lead, unqualified lead. It extracts information and sends that back into our CRM. So we have, what did the client want? What were their goals? What were their dream outcome? What problems did they have? What objections and questions did they have? And we're giving that functionality, that CRM functionality, to our new agent as well. And so if you want to go ahead and build this out, go watch that video. It's 30 minutes. It gives you step by step exactly everything you need to do to build that out. And now let's move on to what I think is the most valuable part of sales, is follow-up. And this is an infinite follow-up agent that has personalization, perfect memory, can book appointments for you, listens for all the SMS coming from any of your leads, and replies to your leads within seconds. So some of the things that we're going to cover in this video, we're going to cover prompt engineering, how we're actually engineering the prompt of the agent, the step-by-step, like Lego build of how we're putting these nodes together, how we're wiring up the nodes, how we're doing personalization, obviously connecting it back into that Notion CRM, that AI-enabled Notion CRM, how we're setting up memory. That's going to be huge. Memory is the most important part of being able to personalize and reply in context to leads and customers. And the booking capability is going to be at the end. And the booking capability is a little bit complicated, and it's a custom request with a lot of kind of hard code as opposed to no code. And so what I recommend is just jumping into our Discord, being able to download the templates that are pre-configured, and then just installing it in your business like that. So let's get into this build. I was at the bar a couple weeks ago, and there was a gentleman there, and we got to vibing, and he was talking about how he was like in a freight, and he had like a trucking company, and he asked me what I did for work, and I was like, hey, I sell AI. And he's like, oh man, like, can you teach me that? I'm trying to get into that. And I was like, yeah, like, check out my YouTube channel, like, check out my content. I literally teach like step by step how to build like awesome automation systems you could sell for like 5 to 8K to 15K, even up to, if you combine multiple, if you stack multiple infrastructures and package them as an offer, you could sell for 25 to 50K, or 10% of revenue added to companies, and even become like equity partners in companies. And so like, this is meant to, for you, like a tutorial for you to go through if you want to build this yourself. But also, I know that this no code can get a bit complicated and take a bit of time. Like, for example, this video is probably going to be like an hour and a half long, but you can just become a partner. You can come in and get pre-built infrastructures, and you can learn from us on bi-weekly calls. And also you could become an exclusive partner, and we can install our sales and lead generation infrastructures and fulfillment infrastructure all into your business. And then you become a marketing and sales partner, and we run all your fulfillment and installations on the back end for a flat fee. And so definitely look into all that. We hope to see you guys in the Discord. You can also download the One-Man AI Business Playbook, link in the description. And with that being said, let's get into this build. All right, so to test this build, we just sent in a text message to the phone number with Twilio. We saw that it called OpenAI as a tool. It grabbed the memory, and then it sent us a message reply. So I'll just read it to you. I said, yes, I'm interested in AI, as a response back to a text message that would have been sent here. I'll just make sure that that's visual as well. Let me plug that in. Twilio, send a message. And so let me just deactivate this. So obviously in the last video, which you can go check out here, we built the Notion CRM, which is a free CRM, the SynthFlow AI caller. It downloads the transcription, it classifies the transcription, and it extracts information from the transcription on how the call went. If the call never got completed, it just reruns the call until they answer, or puts them in a different bucket. And then it takes information and personalizes an email and a text message and just sends those emails out. And so it's hitting them on, the AI is hitting them on phone call, email, and SMS, and it's all personalized based on how the phone calls went. Now, if they send back a text message that says, yeah, like, I'm interested in this, this is what the AI is going to say. It's say, hey, that's great to hear. Selling AI has a lot of potential. Let's set up a call where we can discuss the initial steps, investment details, and how to strategically move forward with your budget. Could you let me know what times work best for you to chat. We're excited to help you get started with AI and make it work for you. So you see that it's working. Now, it didn't necessarily call personalization data yet. Maybe it didn't need to, but it definitely took the chat memory. So if we look and see what chat it grabbed, like what responses it grabbed, it looks like it just grabbed 2 different chats. So it grabbed a couple different calls. So I don't want to get like super into that. But as we discussed, we want to look into some prompt engineering. We want to figure out how are we engineering our AI agent to create replies. We're going to look into personalization. How do we link this personalization node so that AI just has access to our goals and objectives and questions. All right, so let's continue with this build. This is going to be in somewhat of an order. We're going to talk about prompt engineering a little bit. When I first started this business, I built this playbook with different business building prompts because I was trying to come up with an offer. I was trying to build my business, and I realized like there was like 2 or 3 prompts that would give me research and ideas and structures. And if I had structured the way I was writing the prompt, it would do a lot of the work for me. And so I built, some of these playbooks months and months ago, and I accumulated all these playbooks in the one-man AI business playbook. And it's like 10 plus playbooks on anything from marketing and sales to content creation, prompt engineering. And you also get 30 days free coaching just on the house. And so this is going to help you build and sell custom AI growth infrastructures for up to $50K per month. Just put in your email, phone number. The link's in the description. You guys can check that out. But prompt engineering is an interesting kind of field. A lot of colleges are bringing up prompt engineering as like a class. And I had put some of these templates in here for like problem solving, research, brainstorming, comparative analysis. There's a lot of interesting templates that you can check out. For our use, the prompt for our AI agent actually is in the system message. So you have to click add option and then go to system message, then click expression and expand this so you can see, the page. And this is where you actually do your prompt engineering. The structure I like to use is to give it a role, give it instructions, give it some more context, and give it some rules. And you can also give it additional information, but generally you want to give the AI agent like an identity. Tell it like what it is, what it's supposed to be doing. And so the role I gave this one is you're a setter agent who creates SMS replies. And so it can take on that identity. It's like, okay, I need to set based on SMS, which is text messaging. And then I gave it some instructions, and I'll give it some additional rules as we get more into this. This is not going to be like a linear kind of tutorial. I'm going to hit on prompt engineering just a little bit, then we're going to come back to it as I need to kind of tweak and test some of these things and make sure that the prompt is calling its tools correctly. And then it's this feedback process between setting up the prompt and making sure it's running the tools correctly. And you have to do a lot of testing and tweaking on the prompt just so that it maybe can sound a little bit more like you, and it can reduce its error and reduce its hallucinations and things like that. And so this is the general kind of structure I like to use for prompt engineering: a role, instructions, rules, context, and additional info. And in terms of personalization, I don't know if we're really going to hit on that much in this tutorial because that is part of a previous build, and I don't want to overcomplicate this build. The personalization data obviously isn't necessary for the SMS agent. It just adds a little bit of extra flavor, a little bit extra touch. But the way that we're extracting personalization data is by using an information extractor, which is here in the AI agents node. So you click on advanced AI and then you go into information extractor. And we were connecting that and passing in the call transcriptions from the AI caller, and then creating categories like objections, questions, problems, goals, dream outcomes that the clients had, and storing that information. So later when our AI agent's crafting an SMS to reply, it has access to that. So that's what this tool is doing. And we'll touch on this tool a little bit, but not that much. Memory is going to be the biggest part of this build. It's the most important part of this build. It's how it's storing the phone number, the person. So storing the phone number of the person it's talking to. And so in terms of the key that we're giving this for our Postgres chat memory, the key is the phone number. And so it's actually listing in memory the phone number that the conversations are coming from, and then it's listing what the human said and what the AI said, and it can grab context of up to, I'm putting in 3 context window, but it could do 10, 20 context window, but that would be just kind of unnecessary, and it'd run up your AI tokens. You don't want to spend a bunch of tokens. So there's a little bit of optimization that you can use for that. And then the booking capability is also important. And so those are custom HTTP requests. So I recommend just installing those pre-configured nodes from our repository, from our automations repository in the Discord, Mastermind, the premium Discord, and just plug in and play in those. Everything else is highly customizable. This can be customized for any industry. And so I'll just give you an example. So a massage therapist, I used to have a massage therapist personally, and she would text me every 3 to 6 months and personally try to set me back on her calendar for the $100 massage or whatever. And it seemed like the more your client base grows, the harder and harder it would be to remember people and even get motivated to get them on your calendar. But if you just wake up and someone's on your calendar, you're like, okay, great, I guess this is who I'm working with today. And so for a massage therapist, you would be able to store the conversations, everybody's phone number in your contacts, and then obviously you would want to have a CRM so you know who is what, and what kind of massage they want, and just notes on them and stuff like that. And then it would be able to text your customers and set up a time. It'd be able to get your availability, set a time on your calendar, and book them automatically. So you just wake up and you're like, oh, okay, here's my clients for today. These are the times that work for them, etc. So this helps with service things. It also, we can add in more nodes for rescheduling, canceling bookings, and basically rescheduling is going to be a great functionality too. The next use case, let's do solar for an example. A solar person books an appointment, and a lot of times someone will be like, hey, we can't meet at that time, can we reschedule? And there's actually a lot of pressure happening with scheduling, and sometimes those don't get rescheduled. Sometimes those leads just fall through. And so this agent is going to be able to reach out on a schedule and rebook and talk to those old leads. It's going to remember the conversation. It's going to remember the data that you have, the address that the person's at, for example, what their electric bill was, and it's going to be able to rebook them on your calendar so that you can continue to prospect instead of going back through and taking all that mental capital to look through your leads list and remember who was John at this address, what did I say to him. This will all remember it, and it will rebook for you so you can continue to make more sales. So for this build, what we want to do is start with obviously bringing in an infinite SMS sales agent or a tools agent. So you click the plus and you go to advanced AI and you click AI agent, and this brings in your it's actually going to pull up this window, which is your AI agent. Just back out of that for a second, and you're going to have this node configured. And there's a couple things that you're going to want to look at. The first thing is that it usually comes with the connected chat trigger node. You're just going to want to click define below, because we're going to be putting in a different input, and the input we're going to be putting in is the incoming SMS message, obviously. And so the next thing we want to select is the Twilio trigger. So we hit plus and we type in Twilio and go to Twilio, and then select triggers down here, and on a new SMS, click that button, and it'll pull up this trigger. And then we want it to send a reply. So we're going to also click this again, type in Twilio, and find the Twilio send SMS button. And so you're going to click this one, and that will pull up this node. Now we have our basic structure. It listens for an incoming SMS. You have an AI agent, and then it sends an SMS back. The OpenAI model is how you connect your AI to this. I like to use ChatGPT 4 Turbo. This is pretty basic how you integrate this. You go to OpenAI, get your API key, and plug it in. So just go to openai.com. Go into dashboard, click API keys, click generate a new key, copy the key, and then when you plug in your AI and you click create a new credential, paste your API key in here. For memory, we're going to use Postgres memory. So just click the memory and then it'll give you a drop down file. Click the elephant symbol and this will pop up. And to configure this, we need to create a new credential, and then we're going to need a host, a database, a user, a password. And so when you go into supabase.com, you're going to have to create a new project and a new user, and then it asks you for a password. Type in your password, and then come to your dashboard over here, and then go down to project settings, and then click connect, and then right here say PostQL, and then go down to transaction pooler, and you'll see this host link right here. Just copy this, and this is your local host, and then paste that in there. And then your database is fine. Go to user, so go back to your database and then find the U, and then this is your user, so copy this and post that into the credential there, and then put in the password that you used to sign up, and then go to your port and also find that port number, which is right here, 6543. Copy that and put that one in, and that's going to set up your memory. And that's the most important part of this build. Make sure you do this. If you have questions, jump in the Discord. Now, the next most important part is in this same node, we got to make sure that our session ID is we're defining below, and then just put in the json.data.from, just put it like this as an expression. And this is basically taking the Twilio trigger data it's the from data. Who's the message from? It's going to be the number. This is going to be the key that puts the person's phone number as the key in your memory. So if you look at like the chat histories, here's the phone number as the session ID. The phone number is, it's going to be able to look up by the phone number who it's talking to and what conversation it is. So that's super important. And then I just put context window length as 3. And then the table name, it's just going to table name for you, and it just puts it in there. So that's the most important part of the build. That's what remembers everything that's going on. That's long-term memory, and that's the most important part of the build. Now the next two tools is the Notion personalization. So if you had already built your Notion table and you followed along and you watched the other video, then what you can do is add the Notion node in here and select database page as your resource. Obviously connect your Notion account, you already know how to do that. Operation is get many from list, put your AI CRM in there as the database, return all, make sure you simplify, and then filter, build a manual filter. The filter must match the phone number or the equals, and then make it defined by the model and just put the description phone number. And that is how it's going to pull the lead where the phone number matches the phone number, and it's going to pull all the data associated with that lead, so all the personalization that was stored. And now what we want to do is go back. Let's think about prompt engineering. How are we going to tell our AI agent that it has that functionality, that it can go get more personalization using the Notion tool? Well, I'll put it in instructions, and I'll say you can use the Notion tool to get more personalized information on this lead to make the message more relevant and informed. Specifically look at what questions the lead had and what objections were stopping them. And sometimes it'll run, sometimes it won't. Sometimes it needs more context, sometimes it doesn't. And we added that functionality in as kind of some extra sauce, some extra sprinkles, some extra, you get the point. So now we can add in our cal.com tools, and so just go into the JSON file, just jump into HVT AI, and then click AI sales agent, and then go and download this, and it'll give you all the nodes, and then you'll be able to just plug this in, copy and paste and plug this in, and these will already be configured. The only thing you need to change is your value, your event type ID. So if you go to cal.com, I'll show you how to get your event type ID, but you log into your cal, and then under event types, you're gonna have, the main event type that you're using, and then here is your key. So up in the HTTP in the URL, this is your key right here. Just copy this, and then go back and put your key in, format it as an expression, click the expression button, put those two little squiggly lines behind it, and you're good to go, and it's all configured for you. So let's test it and see if it can book an appointment for us. I'm just gonna tell it test workflow, and hopefully it's listening. I'm gonna just say, hey, book an appointment for 5 o'clock tomorrow. Hey, book me a meeting for 5 p.m. tomorrow. And it should have picked it up. There it goes. Store the conversation. It's using it. it just got the time slots, and it's sent. Let's see what it sent. It seems we don't have availability at 5 p.m. tomorrow for a booking. Could we find another time that works for you, perhaps later in the evening or another day? I'll say sure. What times do you have? And it's gonna pull it, and there just got more time slots, and it's texting me back. It says, it looks like we might not have any available time slots for tomorrow. Could we perhaps look into scheduling for the next day? I can look some ability and provide you some options. Please let me know. Okay, so it didn't have time slots for tomorrow, so that's a bug that I probably should fix. What's the problem? What's the problem here? Start time, what's the end time? I don't know, I'm not gonna fix this bug right now. But let's say, please book an appointment for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Let me test this workflow again. Please book appointment for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Let's see. I want it to bypass this and just book me an appointment. And let's see if it does that for me. I got availability. Probably availability didn't work again. Okay, it appears there are no available slots for tomorrow at 2. Okay, perfect teaching moment. The reason this is not working is because I'm not giving it enough context. Our AI agent doesn't even know what day it is. And so we're going to do some more prompt engineering here, and we're going to say additional context, and we're going to say today's date is, and let me give it some fancy JSON and just say now, and now it's giving it the date time. And so it'll know what tomorrow is given this context, and it'll be able to pass in a date time key into the agent. So because what's happening is it's dynamically updating those fields. So now let's test and say, hello, book me appointment for tomorrow at 2. And now it'll be able to fill in the actual time. It'll be able to get availability, and it should be able to book a call. Let's see if it was able to fill that in. Okay, at least it's getting the time slots. That's good. And so what it says is, it seems we don't have availability at 2 p.m. tomorrow, but we can offer times throughout the day and night. Here are a few options: 11:45, 1, 4:45, 6. Later evening options are also available if you prefer. Please let me know which time works and we can set an appointment. All right, let's do it. Let's do test workflow. Set it for 6 p.m. And now it's looking, it's got the conversation. It grabs some personalization data that time. That's interesting. And now it's booking. And let's see what kind of, let's see what it's doing with the personalization data. That's interesting. The appointment has been scheduled for tomorrow at 6 Arizona time. You'll meet online at this link. If you have any further questions you need to reschedule, please let me know. And if I look at my calendar, I'll probably see that there's a meeting there for tomorrow at 6. Let's check out tomorrow at 6 p.m. There it is, meeting between me and me. And there's the Google link, and there's some context. So awesome. So this is working well. I wonder what personalization data it grabbed, or what it did with it. So it grabbed my name, it grabbed the call transcription, everything like that. So in terms of personalization, let's do some more prompt engineering on this, and let's ask it to make sure to add in a touch of personalization. Reference a question or goal they had. Use the Notion tool to grab this. And so let's just try to play with it and see what if it can remember. I'll challenge it. Do you remember what I wanted to accomplish? And we'll just send that in, and there it goes. Oh, it just brought in personalization data. There it goes. And now let's see what it says. Yes, Jeff, I remember you were interested in exploring how to sell AI to make money. We dive deeper into this during our upcoming appointment and establish clear strategies for you to achieve that. If you have any more specific questions you would like to address ahead of time, feel free to let me know. So a common question is, like, how much does this cost? Stuff like that. Yes, you can put that in prompt engineering, but that's not best practice. Best practice would be to add a knowledge base, which would be a vector store, and we're going to get into that in the next video. But if you guys have any other questions on how to set this up, we can discuss that in the Discord. I don't want this video to be too long. Some things to consider when you're setting up Twilio is you have to do brand registry and campaign registry, and then purchase a phone number, and that can be up to like $15. So it's a little bit of an investment to set up, but in terms of scalability and how much money this would make you, it's really peanuts. And so I appreciate you guys for hanging in for this video. Hope we went over prompt engineering, how to do personalization. That's another video you should watch as well if you don't understand that. Memory, we helped you set up your memory. If we went too fast or you didn't understand memory, definitely jump in the jump in the Discord calls. And then the booking capability as well. If you guys don't understand how to set that up, just plug in the nodes as they are, and then go watch the tutorial again. And so hopefully we covered all these things for you, and you can see how this is very broad. It apply to massage therapists, to solar guys, service industry, home services, and all those. It's very broad. There's a lot of room for AI infrastructures in the marketplace across a lot of different niches. I put in a bunch of different niches in the One Man AI Business Playbook, and so definitely click here to download that. Put in your best phone number, your best email address, and we'll get in touch, and hopefully you can become a partner. So thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.